much further, that's very important to remember to build on the legacy of Nelson Mandela.
You know, it's incredible the range of world figures we've been seeing this morning, you know, trooping by, heading into the stadium and in the stadium talking from Cuba's President Raul Castro to President Obama. There's Bono, of course, a rock star. But, you know, there was also a handshake that caught people's attention.
Indeed, the handshake between the leaders of the two Cold War enemies, Cuba, and the United States. You know, there was a big sort of Twitter rush as people confirmed there are photographs to show. And it is pretty significant because, you know, although the U.S. and Cuba have recently taken small steps towards the rapprochement, I don't know whether the two have shaken hands together. And it came as President Obama was shaking the hand of the Mandela family, the widow Graça Machel, of course, the ex-wife Winnie Madikizela Mandela, and the other dignitaries. But it's pretty significant, and it's certainly what Twitter is tweeting about all over the place. So it's been an interesting memorial for the late former President Nelson Mandela.
And that was NPR correspondent Afebia Quist-Arton in Johannesburg reporting from that memorial service for Nelson Mandela earlier this morning.
Now let's hear an extraordinary story from another part of Africa. Mali's military retook Timbuktu from Islamist militants earlier this year. But after the army secured that historic city in the desert, local people began disappearing. They were ethnic Arabs, apparently blamed for the Islamist militancy. The army denied the killings, but an Associated Press team found the body of one ethnic Arab in the desert in a grave so shallow the clothes were visible.
Muslims killing Muslims. Listen to
that prompted AP reporter Rukmina Kalimaki to go searching in the desert for more bodies, armed with nothing but a few
Here he comes out again. Here he comes again.
It's really crazy, but you see the landscape
again. Here he comes again.
It's beautiful.
It's the same guy. And he's rubbing his fucking chest off. He's coming over here. All over fucking again now. Here he comes, man. Now, if he comes to my car, this is deliberately to irritate me. Because the bathroom is locked, unless the car here, 6VXM041, unless that car,
and then just start looking. And the second two bodies we found immediately.
Unless the guy is in the bathroom and he's coming to irritate me.
An area that looks like it has been disturbed.
You see? Quite literally, it's brought
and it really pisses me off because I'm stuck, I'm stranded.
And I need to underscore that we did.
Oh, and he just also he took a chair
because the families at this point were desperate to have any word of their loved ones. So in each case, what we did is we dug just far enough to be able to smell
around the corner. He took one of the Mars chairs. He just took the chair around the corner. The guy with the bicycle.
And dig for the loved ones and identify the remains.
Were you looking over your shoulder, wondering if the Malian military was going to come after you?
Every time. And in fact, Vieux Ali, who was grabbed on February 14th, who became kind of a symbol of the killing because he was elderly, he was very much loved in Timbuktu, and he was the one that I looked for 6 months. The day before we found him, we went out the dunes to a spot that had been indicated to us by this investigator that I was speaking to.
And this is evil because I'm of the races of Mali, you know, of Malian descent, those type of people, and they're killing Arabs. And I don't approve of that. He just took a chair, now he just put the chair back.
There was no checkpoint there an hour before when we went out, and suddenly there was. And they flagged down our car. They started screaming that we had to get out of the car. You know, we were terrified. We didn't know what was happening.
Now he's
and
on the
after
board,
about a 20-minute
standoff with the bathroom
because
he spotted my car.
With my hands up, and he asked us to see my accreditation. They asked us a few questions. He never asked me about the bodies, and then he let me go.
So sort of authoritative,
going out there, and were they just
sort of fashion.
I don't know.
I just want to emphasize,
you know,
this is a military that is allied with the West, that was explicitly supported by France, that is supported in some way by the United States, that's battling Islamist militants. What are we to make of the evidence that you found that they're involved in killing civilians?
This is the irritating. This guy constantly irritating. Yes, constantly. Even when I was parked behind the Starbucks, the same thing. Constantly. Because I have this sort of a spirit of being picked on constantly, and I hate it. I'm tired of this.
Ended up doing so. the U.S.
So I'm going to call everybody involved. Say, if you don't help me, I'm going to file in the court today against all of you.
Military. And
I've
to
asked you,
everybody's, unpleasant surprise,
nicely,
one of the people who got
to help
military
me,
training
and you
came
haven't
to the
helped.
US
I've asked you, and I've asked you
was
very
Captain
nicely,
Amadou Hayasano,
Aki,
who's the man who led last year's military
to help,
coup in the
and
capital,
you
and who
haven't.
was accused of horrific abuses against
Okay.
Christians. So I think at least
this
the
is what I'm going to
United
deal
States
with.
has sort of gotten a wake-up call about the problems within the Malian
So let me
military,
call
and the
Mr.
problems
Radner.
are systemic.
Michael Radner. I don't like to hear this about what's going on in Mali, about the killings of ethnic Arabs. I don't like hearing that out. That's haram.
Thank you so much, Steve.
She's a reporter for the Associated Press.
And in playing Arabic, Middle Eastern music, it doesn't help. It's not going to help the situation. As if it's in sympathy. See, this is a Sufi type of behavior, which a lot of liberal and liberal culture, intellectualism is affected by that. Playing music is not going to help the situation. There has to be desisted. There has to be a Sharia-oriented force that is clear-minded and logical. And he said, if you're going to kill Muslim brothers in here, you're going to desist, or your country has to be taken over. By a level-minded sort of a force in cadre. There's no such thing. Just like people who commit terrorism, there's supposed to be Muslim units going after the people who commit terrorism and applying the hoodoo, the execution of these people, man, who commit terror against non-Muslims. In other words, who do unprovoked attacks on non-Muslims, the taking of life or maiming. There's supposed to be a Muslim division that deals with that. So let me call Mr. Radner and tell him to look at my case.